These days, comedy faces a challenging time with cancel culture and certain people having too much time on their hands that they actually seek out things to be offended by. Unlike many things, comedy is all down to personal taste. I'd take the Nando's spice meter as an analogy here. You may be someone who loves mild and that's as far as you'll go, but the person next to you loves extra hot. Let people enjoy what they like, unless it's getting really hot, that the kitchen sets on fire, for example, then that may need to be looked at. But until then, let people order what they like and enjoy it. With all that being said, it's great to see a new dark comedy like Derry do so well and get the praise across the board from so many people. For those who are unaware of the show, it's about a group of young girls who attend a Catholic girls' school in the midst of the troubles in Northern Ireland during the early 90s. And with each episode, we get wild and wacky adventures with the girls. That includes things like coming of age stuff as well as family drama. And it's just finished its third and final season. And yes, you did hear that correctly, another final season. It just seemed to be 2022 as the year of the final season. Something that really stands out with this show is how well of a job they've done with the casting, like the main characters, the family members, they all feel perfect for the role. Like if you look at the kids and the parents could actually be their real parents with how well they do, like not just on the appearance side but actually on the personality side. And the show also has some great characters which are perfect in these small doses dotted around the episodes, like Sister Michael for example, Jenny Joyce, Grandad Joe and Jerry, and especially Uncle Colm, who comes in brilliantly in the final episode. And if you are wondering where you may have seen Grandad Joe before, he did play a notable role in Game of Thrones as Sir Barristan Selmy. To our Derry girls now, we have Erin and her cousin Orla, we have Claire, Michelle and her cousin James. And yes, poor James is the butt of many jokes of being the only boy in an all-girls school, and also being English of course. But these five really do mix together well, with Michelle being more an adventurous type and always searching for cock, Claire being very sweet but not the best at hiding her stress, Orla being a complete contrast to that and being so laid back that she could actually be sleeping, and Erin, who is very much intelligent and confident but doesn't always get her own way. With some of these character traits, you can understand the similarities between this and The Inbetweeners, with it also being another coming of age show. And like The Inbetweeners, Channel 4 have another show here which we watched over and over again for years to come. Who knows, they may follow The Inbetweeners' footsteps and transfer to the big screen later down the line. And if that is to be the case, that will be down to the creator and writer Lisa McGee. And she deserves all the plaudits she gets, as she's taken experiences from her own upbringing and used them to craft an absolutely brilliant show. For the next part of the video, I will be talking a little bit about season 3, so if you haven't seen any of the show yet and you want to avoid spoilers, skip to this part of the video to avoid the spoilers. Season 3 I did still enjoy it as an overall season, but there were some things that were starting to get a little bit stale. Like for example, in about 3 out of the 7 episodes, Jenny was in the assembly doing a performance or some sort of play, and it did get a little bit tiring because it was the same sort of joke. She's doing something completely outrageously bad and we were just all like, rolling our eyes at it. And it did at times get a little bit too reliant on that self-referential humour. And that is easily done, just look at the Big Bang Theory final seasons. This final season also did try something a little bit different with an episode solely based on the adults. And I did quite enjoy it. It was fun to see their younger selves at school and see like little hints of their personalities shine through. But when you look at the overall series, I feel like that episode may be one of those which doesn't get repeated as much as others. But ones I think will get repeated a lot will be the last 2 episodes, as they sort of play as a two-parter sort of thing. With the penultimate episode ending in a shocking manner, finding out that Claire's dad unfortunately had suddenly died. I think it really did deliver the impact it was intending to deliver here, because what comedy does so well is give you that sort of comfort zone, and then to have such a sad moment like this really pull the rug from under you, it did really work well, and that really does as well reflect how life is when you get news like this. And I thought the line delivery from Tommy Tiernan, who plays Jerry, was perfect. So as a show, it couldn't end that way, and there was one final episode, and a longer episode than usual as well. We jump forward 1 year and have one final adventure of the girls, which involves some fallouts and some resolutions being made. And our final scene involved our characters going to vote on the Good Friday Agreement, which I think gave the show a perfect moment for it to draw a close, whilst also highlighting the importance of that day. And some scenes don't even need words, and I think with Liam Neeson's face there, he said everything he needed to say. And just on him, he was one of many great guest appearances in the show. As they leave, we see Grandad Joe jumping with the next generation to come, and I think that really was a sweet way to close it out. But we did also have one final scene set in the present day starring Chelsea Clinton. This was a nice little Easter egg stemming back from season 2, but it was also from when Lisa McGee was 13 years old. She actually wrote a letter to Chelsea Clinton. But at the time, she never received a response, so it was lovely that Chelsea could get involved here. So yeah, Derry Girls was a very enjoyable comedy that didn't overstay its welcome, and it's definitely one which I'll recommend to people going forward. So yeah, if it looks like your sort of thing, I'd say give it a go. And if you have already seen it, let me know in the comments below what you thought of the final season and what you thought of the show overall. If you do like the video, I'll owe you a packet of Tato, and I will see you in the next one.